it's been about 10 years since your marriage ended. Wow. Okay. So, talking about love, how does, in your experience, have you been in love since your marriage broke up?
Yeah, I think I've tried. I've tried to be in a few relationships, but it's kind of turns out that sometimes the people that I thought I was in love with ended up not being in love with me, and then
So I think what I'm thinking about right now is that what makes you feel like you are in love with them?
Oh, for me, it's basically how the person makes me feel. It's not necessarily like about the butterflies that I feel in my stomach, but having a good conversation and being able to be silly, like goof around with the person.
Like what we're doing right now.
Yes, exactly. You know,
Okay.
like being comfortable in your own skin and around the person and not feeling judged.
Okay.
You know, and like how would I put it? Kind of like the person just being your friend. Like you are not walking on eggshells.
Okay,
you
around them, yeah.
Yes, you can just be yourself and you know, for me once, and then hold good quality intelligent conversations, because like really after the sex then what? So I should be able to have good quality conversations with the person about anything and nothing, really, from archaeology to zoology, anything at all, for as long as it's good conversation. And then like sometimes too it's just there's some sort of energy or attraction, like there's just something about the person that endears to you.
So how do you find your way back to love? So I'm just looking at the fact that you were married before, the marriage broke down. I'm sure you're very hurt, you're very broken by the whole experience. Then you've also been in love again since. So how does one find their way back to love?
Like with me, for instance, I don't carry my baggage. I may have my reservations. There are certain things I look at for as red flags, because my marriage was quite abusive, you know. So there are certain things I look for that. For me, for as long as there is no sign of abuse, okay, I don't carry my baggage from the previous relationship to the next one. I give everybody the opportunity to be themselves. For me, I think that until proven otherwise, everybody deserves the chance, you know, to, for lack of a better word, everybody deserves you don't have to punish somebody for another person's mistake. Exactly. For me, it wouldn't be fair I feel that it wouldn't be fair on me if I meet a man and he projects his past relationship onto me. You
but
know,
so I mean, I hear you, but I also feel as if there is no relationship that doesn't impact on you, right? So because you're in the relationship, it's impacting on you as you go along, right? Now, some of the things that you go through will create things like fears. It will create things like inhibitions. So, for example, if someone you were in a relationship with was verbally abusive, okay, and you sort of manage the situation, try to contain the situation, then eventually it's like, you know what, this is just too much, it's not working for me, and you walk. What happens is that you become a little raw and a little sensitive towards the way people speak to you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I look for those signs. Once those signs,
but I'm saying
for
that,
me, if those signs are there, I become apprehensive.
Okay. So now, if those signs are not there, right,
if those
it doesn't mean that you're still not sensitive.
No, I am, because
things.
there are triggers.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Because there are triggers. But
Okay.
I'm saying that I am not projecting my past relationship onto the new one.
Okay.
Because I want to enjoy my new relationship. There's something I always say that no matter how bad the relationship is or was, it was good whilst it lasted.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't good, there wouldn't have been a relationship in the first place.
Exactly.
You get it.
Exactly. Looking at the first love and the second love, how difficult is it, or how difficult was it for you to, or was it easy? I mean, for you to find love again?
I've had many heartbreaks. I've tried finding love after my marriage. It's been over 10 years since my divorce. I've tried being in relationships since then. Some I thought were relationships, but it ended up they weren't.
Yeah.
Some didn't even start. It ended before it started. Like it didn't even begin, start at all to begin with. But the point is, for me, I think at some point, I was desperate to find love because I was feeling lonely and I hadn't fully gone, like, giving myself the opportunity to heal through the pain and all that. And so I desperately wanted a companion because I didn't really have a support system when I was going through my divorce and the abuse. I had come to a place where I had actually made peace with myself, accepted what had happened, and I stopped blaming myself and feeling sorry for myself for what had happened. I stopped being desperate. So yes, if I start going out with someone and it's going well and I start to catch feelings, I allow myself to catch feelings. If it doesn't end well, of course I'll feel the heartbreak, I'll cry.
Wow.
And I move on. What about you?
So, well, I mean, I think it's, yeah, I think I've been in love a few times. I think that the most difficult part for me has been holding myself back because I love easily. Okay, and sometimes it's dangerous.
You're a hopeless romantic, like me.
Completely. But sometimes it's dangerous because you've not dealt with certain issues from the previous
past,
one, and you're already falling in love again.
Yes.
And the falling in love process, I find, tends to cloud
your judgment. Yes.
So decisions that you should take, you don't take. Things that you should be obvious to you to see as maybe a red flag, you will ignore. Because you are blinded by the experience of the love, the emotion, everything else.
And the superficial.
Red
the
looks orange.
Yeah.
Red doesn't look so red.
Yeah.
And so on. Yeah. So I think that for me, that's been the most difficult part, holding back.
But for you being a guy, you are not at a disadvantage as I am as a girl, because for you being a guy, you are in control.
By the way, how are you enjoying your Nyaba recipes? It's a real deal, man.
Okay, it's nice. It's fresh. You said that since your last experience, right, you've become very careful in terms of getting into a relationship, isn't it?
Not really careful. I'm just saying that for me, it's about not letting that natural passion for falling in love, run ahead of me, because that's what is happened in the past. It's very easy for me to fall in love, and when it happens, I realize very quickly that I've embroiled myself in a situation. I'm now beginning to see certain red flags, but it's almost like I've gone too far. Then so now what I'm doing is the corrective measures to make sure that I give it space, give it time, see whatever things I don't like or maybe I like before, when I'm sure that, I think I've seen enough, and I like the direction this is going, you know. So that's really what I have tried to do.
Are you seeing someone, or do you have the intention of seeing someone?
The intentions are there. Intentions are there.
But then you have the intention of seeing someone, as in you've met the person, and you intend on seeing, like you intend on nurturing the relationship, or you haven't met anyone yet, but you have the intention that should you meet someone, you would like.
Okay, so I'm at a stage where I'm checking out the field.
Okay.
Yeah. So I see people though. I see people. Yeah. And some be more prospective than others.
So more like you are the eagle, you are like the eagle, and you are looking down and you are scanning, and you know, yeah, so that when you see the prey, you know, you can
is there anything extra in the mango that you've been drinking?
No, you can just zoom in to catch your prey.
Well, you see, I mean, for me, I think it's important to settle and to settle permanently.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know,
sure.
but I think that because that's the objective. One is to be more deliberate and more cautious with, you know, the choices that you make, because one thing that you ignore will come back and bite you.
And you know, interestingly, one thing I've noticed, I mean, from my previous relationship with regards to my marriage, what I realized was that the very thing that I ignored was the very
those
thing
are the things that will come back and get you.
The breaking point in the marriage, you know.
True.
So I mean, basically for me now, that is if I'm looking for love, that is what I look out for. They have now become my red flags, and so I look out for those things. If by the slightest inclination I sense that you are verbally abusive, you are hot-tempered, there are certain things, no, I just quickly withdraw, no matter, because then the fear is eventually to become physical, and I mean, I don't know, but
So do you ever feel as if your fears have come to stay, as in the fears that were developed as a result of the things you went through in an abusive relationship? Will you ever lose those fears?
I've become very okay. So I have,
because I don't see myself.
Me, I have a defense. I think I have my intuition has developed, or my senses have developed a certain defensive mechanism that the moment something seems similar to what
something else you experienced before.
Yes, then those defenses kicking. That, but you see, but not in the sense that it's just like a casual thing that you just go about having sex casually with people. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that, like you meet someone, you both of you like each other. You are kind of nurturing some sort of relationship or intimacy, and you are intimate, and it's not a casual relationship, but you haven't gone to that point where it's from you know, so you are stable.
Okay, so what I'm curious about is the what would you say if, like, you were advising me? What are some of the steps that I cannot afford to miss in terms of recovery, you know, from a broken heart, trying to find love? What my experience has been, and what I think I can share with people. But I wonder what some of your experiences have been.
For me, I'll say that you can never be too careful, and you can never be too careful in the sense that you shouldn't just be carefree. I mean, just like that, and give things to chance. At the same time, too, you shouldn't be too careful. That it makes you uptight. If you become uptight, then you would lose the opportunity of finding love. And there is nothing more beautiful in this world. No matter how fulfilled you are, no matter how rich you are, no matter your achievements, your wealth, there is nothing more beautiful than finding love, loving someone, and knowing that you are loved. I mean, there is nothing more beautiful than that.
One thing I can't do is to be overly protective of my heart. That life is not organic anymore.
Exactly.
If you do that, okay, it becomes too,
you become like a robot.
Yeah,
rigid,
you've got to be able to feel the feelings. Sometimes the feeling is not good, or sometimes the feeling is exciting. We've got to be able to feel the feeling. So for me, I think that's important.
Sometimes spontaneity is even good.
Yeah. But when you start to feel that feeling and you know what this feeling is, right? Then you have to now open your eyes wide and begin to look carefully and say, what am I seeing? What is this? What does this mean? And so on and so forth.
And I agree with you perfectly on that, because you need that to be able to decide what you can accommodate, what you can tolerate, and what you can, for lack of a better word, compromise. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. What you can accommodate, what you can tolerate, and what you can compromise. If you are blind, you will not be able to know those things. You would have to be very alert, like you said, and deliberate about looking for those things, so that you know that, okay, I can tolerate this, I can't tolerate that. I can accommodate this, I can't accommodate that. I can
and then there are things that for me are a complete no. So you have to know those ones also.
Exactly.
You see, so when you know what you will not compromise on, then that's in one box. Anything that fits in there, do not compromise. No matter how everything else looks perfect, do not compromise, because it's that thing that you overlook that will come back and bite you.
Very true. And so I also tell people that when you are like compromising in marriage or relationship, compromising with something is different from tolerating something, which is different from accommodating something. But we seem to mishmash it all and think that they are all similar or they are the same, but they are not. And like you said, if it fits into the box, you take it, and then if it doesn't fit, you take it out. Then we are good to go.
No, I mean,
I agree with you.
So at the end of the day, I think that there are some key things that I saw in my previous long-term relationship that I absolutely, will not tolerate, because I know exactly what it did. Even though, having said that, I'm not the one who initiated the end of the relationship. But what I've also found is that even though you are compromising and accommodating to the extent that everything that you don't like, you are still managing and moving on in the relationship, it's eating away at you. You see, it's eating away at you. So then I ask myself, well, even though I was okay with it in the last relationship, if I bring it into my next relationship, it's not going to be good. It's not
going to work, because you see, you've had the experience of the past, and
you're only accommodating because,
and you've crossed your pain threshold. Because of how bad you get it, because of how bad it went, you've crossed your pain threshold. So therefore, you do not have any room, space, or threshold to even have that which happened there. You don't even have the threshold or the room or the space to have that in your current space. You don't, because you've exhausted it all from the previous one, and so yes, it makes perfect sense. That's what I was saying. It's my red flags that I look out for. And it's just the same thing you've reiterated. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Me, I'm good.
Yeah. Cheers.
I like it. It's fresh. Feels
Me
really fresh
too.
and nice.
Me too. It's